Alright, gonna be getting a few things done in this video. Got some pieces already cut to fill in the gaps behind these gussets, just to eat up some of that space, and then I'll caulk around them. A little spacer there, or a little filler piece. Couple filler pieces and a rectangle piece. Gonna caulk these seams all around there. Gonna paint. Alright, got those filler pieces in, caulked all the way around. It'll look a lot better when that gets painted. But I'm really happy with that. Everything up here, completely caulked, all the seams, around the door, even caulked around this area. Lowe's ran out of white caulking, out of white quad, so I had to go with some light gray. But these doors also got caulked all the way around. The wood, that way water splashing, if I open the door up in a storm, water can't get in behind the wood and get trapped or anything. Rain can hit the top and dribble out and around. The bottoms are not caulked, just in case water does get in there somehow. It has a way to get out. But that is all very well caulked. I'm really happy with that. It'll look really good when it's painted. Caulked all the way around here. Top, corners, same in here. Oh, I missed a seam, dang it. Well, that's all right. I ran out of caulk for the bottom. I thought everything up here was done. What else am I missing? So one seam up here left to do. I also want to caulk up in these corners, just in case moisture wants to collect. I want it collecting on surfaces so it can dribble out and away from behind the wood. I don't want moisture getting in behind there. So if moisture collects out here, that's fine. It's not getting in wood anywhere. But up in here, it might, could potentially. So I want to caulk these seams. That's done. That corner's done. Alright, let's try this injection foam idea. Got some supports for the bigger panels. This one, don't have anywhere I can really put on a support, so I guess this will be a test to see if this will bow the boards at all. It sounds like it won't. Window and door insulation foam sealant is proven not to buckle, distort, or bow the frames of any window or door product. So, I guess we'll find out. this one's expanding so much. Yeah, I guess they're both kind of doing that, but these aren't. It's not squirting out as much. Yeah, I guess they're all squirting out a little bit. Maybe it's just because these have been sitting longer. They've been more active now. Okay, hopefully that's all it needs. I don't see anything crazy happening. I don't see outward bowing or anything, so I think that'll be good. I mean, this one doesn't have any support and it's not really, let me see here. Yeah, that's not bowing out at all. These might not be necessary, but I want it to be on the safe side. Yeah, it does not seem like these are getting bowed out at all. So I readjusted these so they're just barely touching, just enough to hold them up. That way they don't get pushed in. But I like what I'm seeing. I think that worked out pretty good. Once that stuff cures, it'll give a good amount of support in between this plywood panel and the outer, or the insulation panel, which is bowed a little bit as it follows the outside warped piece of 16 gauge that got a little bit too much heat during welding. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. All right, I'm taking the supports down. It's only been a few hours, but there is no sign of any bowing on this board. Maybe just a teeny tiny bit, and that's all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and take them down so that these are just kind of sitting naturally instead of being pushed on, even if it's just a little bit. I just don't think they're necessary. And I'd rather it not cure while the boards have any pressure on them. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these down. Looks like it's all working out pretty good. Got some craziness going on though. A lot of foam. Yeah, that stuff's gonna work really well. But yeah, it's oozing out. Kind of weird. Like how hard it is. That'll work good for support. That is a whole lot of foam that came out of that little 1/4 inch hole. That's just seems like a whole lot. And this came out and went up the wall, up and around the clamp there. I didn't remember to time lapse this stuff. I bet that looked cool. I bet that would look cool on the time lapse. Try and remember that for next time. Interesting how some didn't squirt out as much as the others. What a beautiful evening. I don't know what it is. Light's just coming down evenly and it's warm. Just a very, very slight breeze. Ugh, spoke too soon. Now it's starting to rain. A couple drops coming down anyway. It's probably gonna pick up. Don't want the rain right now. Bring in the moisture. All right, everything is caulked, just the way I want it. Gonna go around look for any other holes I might want to caulk up. We got a little bit left. It's a good thing I got 2 tubes. I got just a little bit left in there. So I might caulk over these spots and any really cracked up knots. For these knots that have fallen out, I got some putty here. Go around with the putty knife. I went ahead and installed the air fittings for the air compressor. Put a male fitting on the inside here so I don't have to worry about replacing the O-ring in the female quick disconnect fitting. That way if there's ever anything wrong with that, I can just disconnect that instead of trying to unscrew it from out of here, which is kind of hard to get to. So that was done. Male on the inside and a male fitting on the outside here. Taped up to keep moisture and bugs out. All right, put on a second coat or a second application of the wall putty. It likes to shrink as it dries, so I had to reapply in some areas. Found a couple areas I missed, got those. Last application was about an hour ago. Gonna go ahead and let the dehumidifier run for a good, maybe till this evening or overnight. So let everything in here get good and dry. Interesting. Rubber. This might be handy. Let's get this out. All right, I went around with the brush, painted all the edges where the roller might not get in too easily. Went ahead and painted all the screw heads just so they got pre-coat. Painted the lines, at least where I used a Sharpie because that likes to bleed through, so that'll get extra paint when I roll and help cover that up better. I might still do a little touch up in a few places, but yeah, most things needed a second coat, especially where there was caulking, because the caulking, the bright white caulking, would show through with just a single coat. So double coated in most areas. Just need to roll it out. All right, all the primer is done. Got the ceiling, walls, and even the floor got one more coat. Gonna clean up a little bit and touch up or roll the cab one more time, or at least the floor. And a couple areas on the front if it needs it. Floor could use it. Gonna go ahead and trace out this piece and cut it for the underside of that upper cabinet there. Got this new upper panel cut. Gonna make some marks and cut some axis openings. This is the old panel. I cut out one of the speaker holes for a template. Got that board screwed in. Used a bunch of construction adhesive to make sure that's good and secure. I didn't have very many screws that were long enough to go through the 2x4 and into this. So I used some of these. I think they're 2 1/4 or 2 1/2. These square head screws, those held in really good. I used some of these 2-inch, which didn't go in too far, but they held good enough. But we got 2 good mounting points there, here, here, and here. So that's good enough. And then these just to help out a little bit more. Used what I had. Didn't want to make a trip to town just for a box of screws. So let's use the template and confirm that, yeah, there's not enough room for the 6x9s anymore. Could make some wall boxes that can hang off or something, but what I'll probably end up doing is getting just some smaller speakers. I think, or put them in the dash. Yeah, maybe I'll put them in the dash. So I'll skip the speakers on this. Going to wait for this stuff to cure, then I'll trim it off. I mean, it's feeling pretty cured right now, but that was only applied a few hours ago, so I'm gonna let that sit overnight. I'll scrape that off, and we got a nice matching angle on this upper piece to match with this angle. Turned out awesome. All right, got the adhesive trimmed, got the board painted. Picked up some aluminum flashing at the hardware store so I can cover up those last 4 pieces of insulation for a little protection. Well, razor blade didn't work at all, but this seems to be working. Hope I'm not hurting my scissors. I can do this. Trying not to put a whole bunch of dents into this sheet, but probably can't be helped. They do have like a $60 pair of scissors at the hardware store just for cutting aluminum. They're real beefy. They're 60 bucks, so I don't think I'm gonna try with that. I think I got a pretty good technique down here though. I think. There we go. Yeah, that works. Picked up the right 3M spray adhesive this time. Last time I got the stuff in the green bottle, which is not installation safe because the green stuff will just melt this like crazy. So I'm gonna do a quick test here just to make for sure. Make sure this doesn't melt. Let that sit for a little bit. That actually does look like it's melting, dang it. I mean, it's not horrible. Not like that last stuff. Yeah, that seems to be okay. It is softening up the surface a little bit, but not bad. Not nearly like what the last stuff did. This aluminum feels a little oily, so I'm gonna wipe that down real good with some rubbing alcohol. All right, that worked out okay. All right, that turned out better than I thought it would. It stuck real good. Stuck nice and flat for the most part. It didn't really stick to the caulking, which is annoying. Just what I wanted. Just protect that insulation and kind of finish the look. Alright, that should give some protection to frontal impacts or scratches. Actually, it worked really good. I like it. This one got cut a little long on the corner there, so I just tapped it in. I thought about cutting it long on all the sides and just curling it over because it looks kind of good. I was thinking that'd be a better idea than leaving this exposed, but it's just easier just to cut a single piece without flaps. And I think this will be plenty good enough for doing what I wanted it to do. It's just to kind of give it some basic protection. So, yeah, that is neat. I like it. Alright, the cabinet is installed, primered, looking awesome. Got some panels made up, pre-drilled. I got the cabinet pre-drilled so everything lines up when I put them on. Cab floor got a second coat. I mentioned I was going to do that. I got that done. This got dirty again though, so I might touch that up or just leave it be. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I might have carpet. That's what it used to have, so yeah, I'll probably put carpet on there. Maybe take it somewhere and have them do it, because I'm not sure how to I don't know how to install carpet. I could do it on flat surfaces, but the way they had the corners nicely shaped the way it was originally, I would like to have that done again. So I might actually take it somewhere and have that carpeted. So yeah, looking good, looking good. These are looking awesome, though they are not sticking very awesome. That spray adhesive kind of sucks. It's sticking good enough. So I'm just gonna go around the edges and caulk it with some quad. Quad sticks pretty good. And if I just caulk the edges, not hold things down, then I can paint it. Looks good though, just shiny aluminum, but I mean, I guess I don't have to paint it, it'll just look better versus having quad smeared around all the seams, but yeah, that worked out. Didn't really work out too well on the back either. Also not sticking, but also I cut it to fit the insulation. The insulation was cut big enough that it kind of squeezed into this opening. And so when I cut the aluminum to fit, it drags on the edges of the opening and keeps pulling it off. So I kind of tapped in the edges, kind of rounded them in so they don't drag anymore. So that doesn't look as good back here, but that still serves its purpose. Just need to do something better with the adhesive. Really not impressed with that spray adhesive stuff. So anyway, coming up next, I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna paint everything white. Didn't want to paint the walls white, but I already got this stuff. Got this Valspar 4000 interior paint. I'm gonna go ahead and paint it up with this stuff. Help seal the walls and hide cracks. Make things look a little bit better, and I can always paint it a different color later. But for right now, I can't afford color paint, so that's what I'm gonna use. I also found some spray insulation at the hardware store. Comes in just a couple cans, 40 bucks versus 400 for the big kit, which I don't need. So I'm gonna give that a try too at some point here soon. I'll spray the front with the insulation foam. I need to wrap everything up. I'm not gonna try and take off the wiper hinges. Just gonna cover things up and do my best to spray around it. Just give a little more insulation up in the front of the cab here. Oh, I also installed the adapter for the intake vent. It is a little blocked by this bar, but that's still enough for him to get like a rubber sleeve in there, or even just a dryer hose. Might just use a dryer hose. That's all it needs. Or I could make something custom, or I could even, if it's too big a deal, I'll cut this down by half, like a sawzall or something, and make a little more room that way, but that should work. Coming along. Got a lot of prep to do. I want to cover up. You know, I don't want insulation foam getting on the floor, where I'm going to put down some insulation pad. Or maybe I shouldn't bother with the insulation up here, just put carpet down. Because I think if I put insulation on top of or carpet on top of that insulation mat, it might be a little too squishy. Might end up getting chewed up really bad. Maybe not on the front with the insulation mat. I'll just put down carpet like I used to have. They got these 1 foot square self-adhesive carpet tiles at the hardware store. I think I might just try that. We'll see. Lots coming up, everybody. Thank you for watching. Still a lot left to do, but we're getting a lot done. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.